I'm going to teach you how to have breakaway speed, and we're going to start right now. What's up, everybody? It's Dane Miller from GarageStrength.com, and if this is your first time to the channel and you're interested in becoming a freak athlete, you want to get more explosive, you want to become a stronger individual, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you ring that notification bell so that we can help you become a champion. So over the last 10 years at Garage Strength, we've had multiple running backs and linebackers end up going to Power 5 universities to play football. And part of the success behind our running backs and behind our linebackers and other skilled position athletes is they've got great breakaway speed. They can accelerate very rapidly during the acceleration phase to get to that top end speed. And I'm going to share with you 4 of those key exercises that we like to use so that we can train that breakaway speed and develop that over time and help our field athletes get to top end speed faster. So that first exercise that we love to utilize is a stiff legged bounds, and you can also call these Deons, named after the animal Deion Sanders. And if we can think about what do you need as an athlete to get from that acceleration phase to working to that top end speed, it's got to be good mechanics. We've got to have a good upright posture. We've got to have good hip stability, and we've got to be able to dorsiflex right upon grounding so that the ground reaction forces are in favor for the individual, for that athlete, so that they can accelerate. We like to do the stiff-legged bounds anywhere from 5 to 6 sets, typically 3 on each leg. We want our athletes to have that upright posture, and we want them to feel that dorsiflexion upon grounding. Ideally, the foot strike will be below that torso. That's going to help them learn how to utilize dorsiflexion, how to utilize the ground reaction forces, and ultimately get that breakaway speed. That second key exercise that we like to utilize is the skip for distance. And a lot of coaches have gotten away from skipping. These are really, really good drills to utilize, and they're excellent to teach young kids. They're excellent to utilize with your top end athletes as well. So the reason why we like to use that skip for distance is the reaction tends to be rapid when you're grounding. And on top of that, when you skip, you're going to drive that knee up. So now we have that high knee, which is going to lead to a nice hip lock when you're in the air. When you're grounding, we want that foot to be dorsiflexed. So we want the toes up as we're skipping in the air. And then we want that touchdown right underneath our center of mass. So the ground reaction forces are in our favor. And then we repeat that rapidly. We'll utilize skips for distance anywhere from 4 to 6 sets for 3 to 5 reps on each leg. We've got to make sure that we keep that ground contact minimal and we have good posture and good mechanics. That third exercise that we like to utilize is the hip lock. And now we just touched on that with the skips for distance. If we can think about the hip lock is a simple exercise that's necessary to learn so that we can utilize a good, strong hip co-contraction. This is something that I stole from Franz Bosch from studying his material and seeing what he does with his rugby players. And we've brought this into our system here at Garage Strength to try to figure out how we can maximize that hip girdle, that hip joint. The hip is the biggest lever arm in the body. It's going to create a ton of power, but we've got to make sure that we're utilizing this properly. There's good hip co-contraction around that hip joint, and that's going to optimize what we're going to be doing when we're getting to that breakaway speed. So we like to utilize this almost as a warm-up, but also inside of our workouts as well, for anywhere from 5 to 6 sets for 3 to 4 reps on each leg. And when we're doing that hip lock, we need to think about that knee getting elevated, staying tight, a slight lean towards that knee that's elevated, and we want dorsiflexion on the elevated foot as well. That's going to transfer over to those top end mechanics. Now, at times with advanced athletes, I also want that down leg, the leg that is actually grounded, to have a plantar flex foot. That's a little bit more of an advanced technique, but it can carry over tremendously to that breakaway speed. That last exercise that we like to utilize for breakaway speed, and I would say this is arguably the best exercise for breakaway speed is the single leg bound. Okay, so what we want to focus on is we want repeatability on the same leg. So we're going to start with that right leg grounded, the left leg is in the air. We're going to drive off of that right leg and ground on that right leg. So we will just be utilizing the one side throughout the entire set, and then we'll switch and do the other side throughout the entire set. And what this does is it helps us see where the structural integrity is within that athlete. We want to see how well they hold that high knee when they're doing the bound. We want to see how well they're flexing, they're dorsiflexing when they ground that foot so that they can optimize the ground reaction forces. This is imperative to get that breakaway speed. I like to think about utilizing individuals, classic individuals like Linford Christie, who's been shown to execute these perfectly. He was one of the greatest sprinters of all time, and utilize him as a technical model when you're trying to teach and educate your athletes how to execute these single leg bounds. These can be quite difficult. They can also beat up the body if they're done too frequently. I would recommend once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks, and do them for, again, 5 to 7 sets, 3 to 5 reps on each leg. Make sure that you hammer home those maximal speed mechanics and get your field athletes to recognize utilizing all of these exercises will get them from that maximal acceleration phase all the way into that top end speed. That's going to be key to having that breakaway speed on the field. If you want more information about drive, phase mechanics, maximal acceleration, or top end speed, click on this video right here. Head over to GarageStrength.com. You can try out all these exercises in your program that we've designed in our How to Get Faster speed training program. Until next time, guys, peace.